45 now. We're in the 608 this morning. We have a story of a local man who used the pandemic to recreate something really special for his family.
Josh Breider is hanging out in McFarland this morning to show us. Hey there, Josh.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, we're at the McFarland Historical Society where this farm replica is now on display for folks to be able to check out here. And it is truly something special, especially for Tom Thrun, the creator of this, because Tom, this was actually your family farm that you grew up on.
Right. My family, as I mentioned in the last segment, started this farm, my dad and my mom, in 1944, and we sold the farm in 94 after my dad passed a couple of years before that. And my grandfather was the next farm down the road, so 100 years or more of farming history. And I talked a little bit about the barn and the silo. You know, lumber for that came from the northern Wisconsin on rail cars to McFarland to the lumber yard. And I talked a little bit about the pig house, the chicken house, and everything, and how we had horsepower up until 1964. But inasmuch as we had cows, you know, every day to be milked, we also, and a lot of families around here, Stoughton, Edgerton, up through Westby, raised tobacco as our cash crop, paid the taxes, got 3 of us kids through college. And so in the very early spring, we would sterilize the ground and plant the seeds in a tobacco bed. Those then would be planted out into the field with the tobacco planter over there. I would drive and with the tractor. My uncle actually drove with the horses. My dad rode on the planter in the back and dropped the plants. We'd hoe in the summertime to at least twice through the field. I and my sisters cultivate with 1-row cultivator. And then come harvest time, it'd all be cut down by hand with tobacco axes, speared onto lats with a metal point, about 5 or 6 plants, hung onto the wagon in the field, taken to the shed. And I got pictures on either end where you can see how the plants hung in the shed to be dried. It come August, September, October. We would open up the little doors to let the hot, dry air in to dry the plants or to cure the plants. Then in the wintertime, we would close the doors so they wouldn't blow down, create a mess and ruin the crop. And then on a foggy day in late November, we would open the little doors up and let the fog into the building, soften those dried leaves. We'd take the lats down and pile them up in the walkway in the middle. And then we'd haul it all to the barn and spend Christmas vacation taking every last tobacco leaf off those plants, bundling them up and selling them to the market. And went to Stoughton, a lot of it for chewing tobacco. Earlier it was cigar tobacco and leaf wrappers here in Wisconsin. There used to be hundreds of warehouses for tobacco. Every farmer raised 8 to 20 acres of tobacco. Government regulated how much you could raise. Our last allotment was only 4 acres. But you can see I've recreated the shed here, and the framework inside is actually Lincoln logs, which is kind of a testament to my folks growing up in the Depression and saving everything and repurposing things and recycling long before it was fashionable. So then that's how we raised tobacco.
I love how much detail you put into this, and you remember all of those details. And this is really just about celebrating not only your family, but just the farming community in general here.
As I mentioned before, we've got all these other farms on display here this summer into fall. I have also, my tobacco hoe, created a memoir with 100 pages, probably 300 to 400 pictures in here dating back to the 1920s and earlier. This last couple of weeks I actually put together a poetry anthology. Being an English major and a writer, I actually was an editor of the McFarland paper at one time. I put together a special binder here which gets more into what happens within a family.
So people can come check out your replica right now here at the Historical Society and also get to meet you as well. So you are here.
I will be here on Memorial Day, that Sunday, Monday, whatever they want me here. And also, if like the seniors are having a special showing here today and Thursday, I'll be here to take the senior citizens through it. And next fall for the 3rd graders, all the 3rd graders come here and learn how to call cows. I did that earlier.
How do you call a cow?
Come, boss! If you could imagine 30 little kids screaming "Kumbas" at the same time in here, it was just precious.
I love it. Well, Tom, thank you so much for sharing a little history with us this morning. Of course, I wish we could get into more here, guys, but we are limited. I do have a link up on channel3000.com, though, so if you'd like to learn more about this replica right here, and of course get to come meet Tom at some point, all that can be found out there as well. But isn't that so much fun? Even this. How old is this? Oh,
1,200 years.
100 years old here,
handle.
guys. So there's so much history here at the Historical Society that you got to just come to see for yourself.
I can listen to Tom all day. Thanks, Josh.
Remember to let Josh know what inspires you in the 608. You can reach out to him on social media or shoot him an email for a chance to be featured.